This playthrough is rated M for mature.
If someone asks if you want to punch God, you say yes. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare here with another episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. Another bonus content. This time I'm going to do the regular ending of the game, where you don't talk to Kuan Ya at all. You don't try to convince her, listen to her arguments, or if you just didn't do the information to get the best ending. This is something that would happen if you just decide to not even discuss this with her and not even do the bad ending or whatever. So we're going to attack her this time. So third time's the charm. Try to stay dead this time. And the great thing about this fight is that it's everyone against Kuan Ya, and Kuan Ya is going to go down in pretty much this one turn, but we get to use everyone for one final show, which is nice. And yeah, Raymond just kind of hides. This is probably the best time in the game to get the God Punch feat or achievement, or whichever system you're playing on. All you have to do is with your main character Puncher. Now the problem is if you're not playing a physical adept, this might be a bit tough. So probably what I would say is just save it, because the game lets you save in battles here, unlike I think Shadowrun Returns you couldn't do that for some reason, or certain sections anyway. But here you can just save it, so just save it right before the final fight, and then just try to punch her over and over and over again. And then if you, even if you don't do any damage, even if she blocks, it counts as the achievement. So for me, I'm not gonna be able to really do it because, and I don't have the achievements turned or shown on where they'll show up during gameplay. But I just wanted to show you that's the best, probably the easiest way to get it if you're going for the normal ending. You can do it during the fights as well, like the first or second one, I believe you can also do it. But it's better to do it during the second or third one. So anyway, let's just beat the crap out of her with everyone. Probably almost, I was about to say we almost killed her with just ourselves because we get the first strike in her. So, okay, not what I meant to do. Yeah, just everyone have at it. Yeah, no weird. I'm still missing. No weird mechanics or anything like that. Just tackle her. Wow. Even point blank I'm missing. Great. Oh, joy. Joy of joys. Alright, fine. Raptor, Crochet needs... Apparently Machine needs to be... do this. Oh my god, just do it. Just hit her. Just finish him off. Thank you. God, the game just torments me. As you watch the Yama King's broken carcass withers and dissipates, seconds later, all that's left of her is a cloud of rancid mist. Huh, that was easier than I thought it'd be. I guess that she was hurt worse than she let on, trying to trick us into taking a bad deal. That wasn't really her, it was just a projection. It won't be long before she finishes licking her wounds and sends another. I believe that you're correct. He points at a dingy terminal just in front of the towering machine. The control console is just over there. We must move quickly. Alright, let's activate it. Yeah, in the good ending, you convince her to leave, so that way you don't have to do anything. But in this case, we have to do something with the machine to try and get her to not come back. The Fortune Engine itself stands before you, an enormous, malevolent presence that fills the test chamber ahead. Raymond pushes forward, leaning in to study the control console with a look of determination on his face. I will close the rift. I just need... He bends over the terminal, frowning. His eyes dart from readout to readout. As you watch, the blood drains from his cheeks. What's wrong? Destroy the thing before she comes back. I can't. He gestures at the technical readout on the Fortune Engine's monitors. There's one-way flow of astral energy moving from the inner-walled city through the tunnel. I know what it is. Gobbet wrinkles her nose and gets a faraway look. She sways for a moment and speaks as if in a dream. I can feel it too. The energy's coming from people that she's feeding on. Their essence, their spirits, for lack of a better word. She sways a while longer, a puzzled expression on her face. If I destroy the machine now, it will collapse the tunnel. All of those people will have the better part of their essence. What makes them what they are, trapped inside with her. Forever. Thousands of people condemned to eternity with that parasitic thing. Son of a bitch. Raymond squeezes his eyes shut. There is another way. Someone could enter the tunnel, close the rift safely. The people would be saved, restored to life in the real world. And what happens to the person in the tunnel? He stays there forever with her. His shoulders sag. There's no way out once the tunnel is closed. There's a long pause as the assembled group digests Raymond's words. Duncan nods to himself, his jaw clenched. He pushes forward. I'll do it. Just tell me what button to press. The old man stares at the controls. Cold fear washed across his face. No, if anyone is to do this, it must be me. His voice strengthens, and you can see the old fierceness rising from within, the iron will of your childhood. It will be me. Don't do this, Ray. What'd you do, Ray? No, not Ray. My name is Edward Sang, and I built this machine. I set this avalanche in motion, and whether I meant to or not, it is my responsibility to stop it. He turns to you, a look of resignation on his face. That is what this is all about, what it's been about since the very beginning. Raymond, listen to me. You're too weak for this. Just tell me what to do. No, the Elma King could return at any moment. There's no time to teach you what to do in there. I must set things in motion. It must be me. He turns to you. Goodbye, Pikel. He smiles sadly. Thank you for coming to Hong Kong. Thank you for coming when I called. So long, little man. The old man flips the lever and steps into the machine. There's a flash of light, and Raymond Black is gone.
Remember the day I took you and Duncan off the streets? I told you that the past is just a story. That if you can just accept that, your past loses all power over you. My past is a terrible story. I didn't expect it to end with redemption. Sometimes the debts of the past can't be repaid. But we do what we can. I have done what I can to right my wrongs. And I accept the consequences.
You depart from the Prosperity Chamber and are instantly caught up in a wave of refugees fleeing for their lives. Struggling through the panicked wave of humanity, you're able to retrace your steps and eventually reach Hawaii. Although the typhoon has passed, the scene is wet and chaotic. The newly homeless crowd the streets, dazedly wandering, searching for missing loved ones and nursing injuries. Relief workers are already on the scene, providing blankets and medical aid. Rescue personnel carry the stunned and wounded to safety. The entire area has been cordoned off by the HKPF, while knight-errant officers and a military peacekeeping force attempt to maintain order. Yeah, thus that's the sacrificial ending, which is the standard ending of the game. That's what you get if you don't choose the right choices throughout the game to unlock the good ending. Because you can get the normal ending. Well, actually, two of the endings you have to do all the stuff for. So technically, if you don't do everything right, you can only get the option of two endings, which is either the give the city Kuan Ya or sacrifice Ray for the machine. So Gavin's eyes dart furtively as she turtles her head between your shoulders. This place is hot. The cops are swarming the place, and NAPB is still out on us. Yeah, you don't even get when you sacrifice them. Ractor and Gaichu aren't even here to like talk to you during this. You just kind of just enter and go to the boat or whatever. So let's head to the boat, sneaky like. Sounds good. It's going to take a year's worth of showers to wash the experience off of me. Isabel lifts her nose towards a reporter interviewing someone from inside the walled city. Looks like we have to see a man on the street interview on our way. The press already have the hooks in someone, hoping for a soundbite. Alright. Let's see. This is the same. So, the dialogue's not different, so. For its luck. Change that, whatever. And he's like, nah, that's alright. Alright, let's see. Right away, Auntie. Okay. I went to sleep for about a year. I'm heading into the big Texas pack. All you can do is some sack time, too. I'll see you there. Better go talk to Annie Killer. Okay, I was just skimming through that because the only difference in dialogue is what everyone says because of what happens to Raymond and main stuff. Minor characters say the exact same thing as before. Now, the thing is, you might want to, if you're not going for, well, if you're trying to go for multiple trophies, you might want to continue, even if you don't get the best ending, continue to beat the bonus campaign with this, because the ending is slightly different when Ray dies, because I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's dead. I mean, when you think about it, but I think you can also get that variation in the ending if there's another variation on the good ending I'm going to show next episode, or I might show it on this one depending on how long this episode is. Actually, it might be better just to split it off to separate the two endings. But you could also keep that one, and I believe that also counts for the achievement as well. But it's basically beating the game, but Ray's dead or not available, and going back to Seattle, basically, with Duncan. So, let's see. I think Chang's is, because everyone's alive, her dialogue is pretty much the same. What happened in there? Not sure. Kindly Chang stares at you unblinking. I sent you 5 soldiers, and they're all dead. Is that how you treat my resources? I'm just going to try a different dialogue just to get different results. So, just to show you. So, please accept my apologies, Miss Chang. She takes another drag off her cigar, exhales the smoke through her nose. So you do have something to apologize for. That's not what I meant. She taps her ash on the floor. Well, they knew the risk. They had a shot at moving up and they missed. Forget them. So, okay, that's the same. What happened in there? It was a family matter. It's taken care of. Family matter, huh? That's it? That's all I get? She begins stacking mahjong tiles. I'm down 5 soldiers. Vice numbers are going to drop. Loans won't get repaid. I've taken losses, Wiggles. We've all taken losses. Just move on. Oh, yeah, you could mention Ray dying. We'll move on when I say we move on. She eyes you closely, her mouth a little sharp slit. You can see her connecting the dots. How did Raymond Black die? A bad thing from another dimension. The Triad boss crosses her arms across her chest. Okay, we can leave it at that. Strangled by Elise and let's see. Okay. Guy's alive. One came back. That sounds good. Does it make up for your dead soldiers, Auntie? Oh, wait, no. Is this good news? It's delicious, my darling. He was a 438. He was also a pig. Yeah, we already said that pig, but you're an asshole, so it makes up, so. Alright, let's see. And after the crisis is over, when the laws of supply and demand take over, my darling, once I convince the relief force that order has been restored in the walled city, they'll pull out, thankful to be away from there. Within a week, the public will forget about the refugees, and the government will be pleased that their budget is no longer being drained by the poor. Medical supplies will dry up overnight, and prices will soar. I may not have brought Josephine Sane down, but I've got my career going again. Alright, let's see, that's the same. What about my drink? I'm the one who beat a demon. At a cost, my sweet. At a cost. Kindly catches your eyes. She fingers the rim of her glass. But we move forward, don't we? And yes, it appears your fortune is changing too, Wiggles. Alright, any idea who that might be? I don't have a clue. I must admit that bothers me. It must be someone powerful. One of Josephine's enemies on the executive council? I'll tap my network, see if I can find out. We got him, stopped his mother from wiping his memory. Impressive, you've become quite a Shadowrunner, Wiggles. She lights the cigar, a gleam of hunger in her shiny black eyes. Let's see, okay. Just saying if there, we found financial statements that get her in deep with the executive council. Enjoy. Kindly barks a laugh and the cigar dance as in her mouth as she speaks. Now I can take that dried up old bitch to the mat. Okay, I think that's the same. Okay. To the beginning of something big. Kindly Ching watches you drink, smiling your terpene smile, then she downs her glass in one swallow and licks the rim. Now, before I get back to business, I must know, how did you go from rescuing Raymond Black to the walled city vomiting people? Ray built a machine in the walled city, accidentally summoned the bad thing. That's when everyone ran. The triad boss cocks her head, raises her guard to her lips, and the demon summoning was an accident. What was this machine supposed to do in the first place? I don't know. Kindly eyes narrow when her mouth curls into a smile. She moves on with a shrug. Well, the business has certainly proved lucrative for me. Kindly Cheng says a growing tip of her black cigar. I'm in prime position to be in the next 438 Yellow Lotus. Okay. As you only lost 4 men. Well, we all can't be so lucky. Raymond wasn't. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Doesn't sound like your foster father was in a position to be lucky, but judging by the way you've run the shadows, I'd say your luck is about to change. You made quite a splash since arriving in Hong Kong, Wiggles. Let's see. Okay, many Shadowrunners completed in a very short time. Let's see. You can add closing the door on a demon goddess to the list. We made a difference. Perhaps for some, for a while. The triad boss leans in, her voice conspiratorial. Listen to me, my sweet. When I was a girl here, we had never had a pandemic like the Vetus in 2010. Oh, okay, we've seen this dialogue before. Well, the new normal is that the walled city isn't under magical influence anymore. Congratulations, the poor can return to the misery. No interference from magical machines or big bad things because of you. Jeez, make you feel like defeating a god seemed like nothing. Yeesh. Now let me give you a piece of advice for the future, my sweet. Something Mr. Chang used to tell me. Respect ghosts and gods, but keep away from them. It sounded like you almost lost your ass in the walled city. I think you best listen to that. No more demons from now on, Auntie. Conway smiles mischievously. So wise. She stubs out her cigar, screws the top back on her bottle. Now get some sleep, Wiggles. You look like shit. Tomorrow we'll talk about the future. Bed sounds good. Conway Chain doesn't respond. She's already moved on. Okay. Alright, let's talk to everyone, and then we'll call it an episode. Like I said, I'm just getting the small details of it, so... and the ending, obviously when you get the ending, there's a difference between if you beat the extended bonus content with this version of the ending, or the version of the good ending that can get this as well. But I'm not going to show those variations because it's so minor. It's not even that big of a deal. It's basically what you and Duncan talk about in a couple lines of dialogue change. So let's see. I think this is about the same as before. You eating? Gobbet shrugs. Couldn't remember the last time we ate, so we figured we'd hang out a while. She looks over her bowl at Duncan. Besides, no one could sleep anyway. She means me. I'm too fucked up to sleep, trying not to think about Raymond. Wu takes an enormous gulp of soup, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand. They're just keeping me company, feeding me and pretending not to be tired, talking a bit. Yeah, I'm still jacked up. Bed can wait. Isabel fishes a chunk of something out of her soup with her fingers, flicks it to the floor. We've been debriefing a bit. Yeah, talk about all that's gone on, everything we've been through together. She shuffles her feet a bit. Sorry about Raymond Killer. You too, Duncan. He was trying to do good with that machine. You two need to remember that. Wu drops his head. His words come out slowly as if they were being forcibly extracted. I can't believe he did that. Gave himself to that demon. And I guess you could mix up the other version of the good ending for that as well. It's a kind of a similar thing when I go over that, so. I think he did what he came to do. I guess we did too, Pikel. We came to help Raymond and we got what he wanted. Isabel stares over her bowl at the wall of the trawler. Her voice is soft. Hard to believe we defeated a god. Demon god! Gobbet stirs her soup with her fingers. From another plane of existence. Hard to believe that Josephine Singh is going to remain untarnished by this whole thing. The little Decker's face hardens. 20 years of misery. 20 years of suffering. For tens of thousands. Hundreds, maybe. That's the way it is. That's the way the world works. The powerful play their games and the little people pay the price. She'll see justice someday. She has to. Wu stares into his soup, squinting in concentration. But one thing doesn't add up for me. Why was Josephine Singh so intent on shutting us down? Why wouldn't she be? You saw what she was responsible for. No, think about it. The HKP of snipers, the plastic-faced man, all the resources that she poured into capturing Raymond and hunting us down. I mean, she's already covered her tracks with the illegal drug lab explosion, right? So why not just let Ray do his thing and cover it up afterwards? It doesn't add up. It had to be the Fortune Ninja itself. Yeah, I think you're right. From everything Raymond said, the key was supposed to be pooling, turning toxic, but I felt something in that room. A flow of positive key that I couldn't expect. Gaba wrinkles her nose. She stares at the floor of the trawler for several seconds, apparently lost in thought. I think it was leaving the walled city. I bet the machine did something else, something that Raymond didn't know about. The little Decker stirs her soup, pondering. What if it was about a sign? Oh, wrong voice. What if it was a siphon? What if Josephine Sang was stealing the cast-off positive key from the walled city, leading it to her for her own benefit? And if Ray's alive, he basically explains this to us. Wu nods at Isabel, runs with her train of thought. She sealed up the fortune engine, leached the good key for herself, took Sang mechanical services from the mining company Ray's father built to the ball buster it is today. His jaw tightens. That's how she got herself on the Executive Council of Hong Kong. Of course, this is all speculation. Can't prove any of it, but Josephine was using positive key that the fortune engine was casting off. She isn't getting it anymore. Your foster father saw to that. Gobbet taps her spoon against the rim of her bowl. I wonder what will happen to her. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Gobbet finishes her soup, lets out a little belch, and pats her stomach. Satisfied, she tosses the bowl in the corner for madness and folly. So kill her what now? So, now bed. Good plan for everybody, but especially you, Pikel. Wu winks at you. You look like shit. Why does everyone tell me that? Alright, let's go over our allies. Looks like Ractor didn't pop up again. I love it. I could save it and reload it and see if that'll fix it. I forgot that Ractor sometimes won't pop up, so let's see if his is the same. Wish we had a chance to take care of Josephine Sang too. Gaichu cocks his head. Do you suppose that would have made a difference in the long run? So long as there are humans, there will be powerful and those they exploit. I'm certain that Josephine Sang death would please you on a personal level, but someone else would simply fill the void she left. Yeah, you're right. I just figured that woman owed some payback. Destiny moves in mysterious ways. Josephine's fortunes may have begun to shift based on your actions. Should the corporate courts catch wind of Sang's weakness, they will assuredly devour the corporation. It isn't as satisfying as a bullet to the head, but such is the way of life. Gaichu looks slowly around the room, sightless eyes focused on nothing in particular. After a while, he looks back at you. I'm afraid this cabin will need a lot of work before I can call it truly livable, but I suppose I have to do it or learn to live living in filth. Gaichu suddenly looks towards you as if realizing something. That is, if I'm still considered part of the team. Your affairs here are done, so I was unsure. I'll let you know, or I'm not leaving anytime soon. Excellent. Then I think I will get to cleaning. If you need from anything, well, you know where to find me. Alright. I don't think, yeah, Ractor's just stuck there, that's fine. Like I said, his dialogue doesn't change that much, between the different, that ending, so. The only reason Gaichu's was different, because I just chose a different focus on the conversation, but it would be the same no matter what. You enter Wu's cabin to the sound of his neck cracking at a horrifying volume. You catch his eye and he nods, then begins his standard stretching regime. I wish there was a stuffer shack in this damn country. I need some nerps or bromo fizz or something. He rubs his stomach and lets out a loud burp. That gobbet stew is heinous. I kind of like it. The macaroni makes it feel like home. For you, maybe, but then you're used to prison food, so maybe I shouldn't judge. He pulls his right elbow back behind his head, stretching his triceps. Long gone dead day. Feels good to stretch. You just gotta avoid talking about Raymond, about what he did. What he did are you talking about? The what he did where he created a magical machine that caused misery and opened a demon door? Or the what he did where he... Wu bunches up his fist, lowers his lower lip pushing out in frustration, where he left us to be tortured by that thing. Raymond was tortured since the day we met him. Remember when you realized that he'd been carrying this around the whole time? Yeah, I remember. Wu flops down on the bed. I guess he started paying years ago, before we ever knew him, and now he's still paying. Maybe even after we're in the ground, he'll still be paying. I was wrong about Raymond Pikel, really wrong. He looks at you again, his face drained of anger, drained of frustration. Ray was no coward. I could never have done what he did, not in a million years. I I don't know how I'll ever be able to forget that. How I'll ever be able to move on. You don't forget. You remember his sacrifice and you try to live up to his example. Oh, I like this one. You suck it up. Life's a shit sandwich, son. And the more bread you have, the less shit you have to eat. So we keep running the shadows until we're dead or rich, huh? Yeah, okay, I'll sleep on that one. Wu strips off his armor and tosses it into the corner. Time for bed, Mr. Boulder Shoulder. I think we both deserve a good night's sleep. Get out of here. I'll see you in the morning. Alright, let's see how I spell. Like I said, you know, Duncan's is different because Ray sacrificed himself, but the girls won't have much. They'll have a few lines of dialogue because of the whole Raymond dying, but it's not much different. Isabel looks at you, a troubled expression on her face. If she's found any peace from your victory in the walled city, she isn't showing it. Well, we did it. Quanya is gone and we never have to set foot in the walled city again. She tries on a smile and falls away a moment later. I guess I don't need these memories anymore. You're right, you don't, so go ahead and delete them. All they're doing now is hurting you. That's the part I'm not sure about. They're definitely hurting me, but I think they might be doing something more than that, or something. I can't explain it, but something is holding me back. Deleting the things just don't feel right, and I don't know why. You were just fine before you had these memories restored. You've been suffering ever since. Just get rid of them. You'll be happier that way. You might be right. Maybe I'm being silly about this. I lived with these memories once. I was happy. All signs suggest I could do it again, but a part of me doesn't want to. The act of cutting out memories like this, I think that it's a form of self-mutilation, kinda. It makes me feel uneasy. So, what do you want to do? I don't know. Maybe I think maybe I'll sleep on it. I think that's a good call. It's been a big day. Yeah, a bit. You can probably use the rest too. She offers you a small smile. Good night, Wiggles, and rest well you found it. Yeah, she didn't even mention Raymond, so. Yeah, let's see how Gobbet's doing. As you enter Gobbet's cabin, you find her sipping from an enormous mug. Something dark and steamy sloshes as she lowers the vessel. Her rats squeak happily from their perches on her shoulder. That was a hell of a thing, wasn't it? You fought a Yama King and we won. Given a choice, I'd like to stay far, far away from demon gods from this point on. As long as goals go, I've heard worse. She gives you a smile, followed by a yawn and a long, languid stretch. Been a long day, hasn't it? I'll be licking my wounds for a while after this one. I think I might have pulled something on the way out of the Prosperity Chamber. I'm a little sore too. It'd be easier to name parts of my body that aren't. It'd be easier to name parts of my body that aren't sprained. She nods sagely. We both need sleep. It's night time. To be perfectly frank, I don't even know how you're still standing right now. Endurance. It's just one of my many virtues. She smirks at you. Yeah, sure it is. Go endure in your cabin then. We mere mortals need to sleep. I'll see you tomorrow though, right? I mean, you're not going anywhere. It's phrased as a statement, firm and final. I'm beat to hell, Gobbet. Right now, I don't think I could leave even if I wanted to. Yeah, right. Good. I'll see you then. She hesitates for a moment, then the corner of her mouth tilts up into the old familiar smirk. Oh, and killer? Yeah. Sweet dreams. Yeah, it really makes me wish there had been a romance option with one of the characters like Gobbet or something like that. I don't know. I think it would have been interesting, but I'm a hopeless romantic like that. Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna talk to Raptor because the game glitched. So, but like I said, I would have just chosen different dialogue for him. That's all. So, all right, go to sleep. End the campaign. You drop your head in the pillow and haul the rough naval blanket over you. The big Texas rocks like a cradle, and moments later, you're wrapped in the comforting arms of sleep. There are no nightmares, only shadows. I like the final line of dialogue. So. The story of the walled city riots circulate local news networks for nearly a week. Few outside of Hong Kong hear about the incident, and those that do, even fewer care. By the end of the month, the city's back to business as usual. In Hawaii, the flow of refugees eventually is slow to trickle. Those who escape tell stories of a terrifying demon goddess and of an old man who sacrificed his soul to banish her. Their mad ramblings are generally met with pity or contempt. After the incident, the walled city, the unbroken sheer Luck Street that propelled Sang Mechanical Services into the limelight comes to an abrupt end. Evidence of Josephine Sang's culpability in the walled city riots, as delivered by a reliable source, is aired on the Horizon News Network, and the corporation's stock prices go into freefall. Within a year, the Wuxing Inc. buys out, absorbs, and dismantles the company, and Josephine Sang is quietly filed away in a corporate prison. She remains here, buried beneath walls of concrete and rebar, until she hangs herself 3 months later. We got a, well, anyway. I was going to make a reference to something real life, but no. Hawaii remains a safe port of call for smugglers, gangsters, and Shadowrunners alike. You are no exception. The Shadows here welcome you in a way that Seattle never did. You've earned the respect of your fixer, your clients, and your community, and now that the APB on you and your team has been lifted by parties unknown, you're free to operate openly in Hong Kong. This place is yours now. You are home. The end of the sacrificial campaign. So, yeah, nice, it's a bittersweet ending, obviously. Everyone lives except for Raymond, and really with all he's been through, you think maybe it seems appropriate until you find out if... The first time I played the game, I got the good ending the first time because I made sure to do everything. And I guess I got lucky on the whole dialogue choices and stuff like that. But, yeah, I was able to get the best ending the first time I played the game. So, but still, it's not a bad ending. Like I said, it seems appropriate overall. So, too bad their dialogue doesn't change too much from that. It's only in the extremes, like if it's the super good ending. Even then, the good ending and sacrificial ending aren't that much different. It's more just certain dialogue is there. The good ending at least has Ray explaining everything that goes on. And at least the bad ending is so drastic that it's just like, man, because of just like what you do, you kill everyone. It's almost like, well, I should have talked about that during that ending, but it's almost like you're bipolar. You're like so good or you're working with everyone until that point of the game, and then you go, that's it. But anyway. But yeah, a nice bittersweet ending, and then depending on how you viewed Ray as your father or that, bastard or whatever, it's just like that, and it hurts Duncan the most because he's the one eventually came to a 180 on Ray after this whole time, and then he ends up dying. So, but anyway, that's it for the sacrificial ending. There's only one more ending to go. So what happens if you get everything that you want? You choose all the right things, but you decide to let one person take the fall despite all your best choices. Well, we'll find out in the next episode as I do the final ending of the game of the main campaign. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.